for your rights, can you pay attention? Ayy, now you see the ones protected by the system. Ayy, they raided Trump's house, why they ain't raided Clinton's? And for this of Hunter Biden, but he ain't in prison. Took the justice system, but they want you to forget. Cause your eyes, Epstein Island, why they hide the list? Ignore Clinton body count like it don't exist. Obey or they gon' ruin you if you don't submit. It's so crazy, they let liberals get away with murder. Did we forget Hillary's emails? They wiped the server. Joe and Hunter don't talk business, huh? They some liars. Why did Joe meet Bobby Ulinsky about his deals in China? Hey, who the big guy? Who getting 10%? So much money to Ukraine, how much have we spent? In a recession, never mind, cause they changed what it meant. And they mess with little kids, but you still on the fence. Hey, be ready for war, cause they won't smoke with we the people. I guess smoking crack is cool, but doing mean tweets is illegal. And they persecute Alex Jones, but you think justice is equal. And this country is ran by demons, it's time to destroy evil. They coming for your rights, can you pay attention? Ayy, now you see the ones protected by the system. Ayy, they raided Trump's house, why they ain't raided Clinton's? And for this of Hunter Biden, but he ain't in prison. Took the justice system, but they want you to forget. Cause your eyes, Epstein Island, why they hide the list? Ignore Clinton body count like it don't exist. Obey or they gon' ruin you if you don't submit.
Hey, the cleans catching bodies out here hitting licks. Biden face bumping the Saudis, we ain't innocent. We see Hunter on the laptop getting intimate, but they coming after we the people and it's imminent. What's up with that raid, huh? You think we afraid, huh? You declaring war and we all ready to crusade, huh? We were made for war and they ain't ready for that fade, huh? Every single snowflake gonna melt when we invade, huh? We want that list and we want every single name. Every single person on it needs to be defamed. Then get the gasoline and get them ready for the flame. But no, you'd rather raid the 45th and point the blame. Bunch of suckers.
They coming for your rights, can you pay attention? Ayy, now you see the ones protected by the system. Ayy, they raided Trump's house, why they ain't raided Clinton's? And for this of Hunter Biden, but he ain't in prison. Took the justice system, but they want you to forget. Cause your eyes, Epstein Island, why they hide the list? Ignore Clinton body count like it don't exist. Obey or they gon' ruin you if you don't submit.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the first episode of F the Dems. Let me just make sure my audio is good. Hang on. Alright, looks like it's alright. How's everybody doing? I got this first article here. Alright, cool. Okay. Audio's good. Oh. So yeah, F the Dems. This is the first episode. I don't know when the fuck I'll be able to broadcast or how often. But once this live is done, I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it on my Rumble page and a couple of other platforms, assuming I don't get banned from those other platforms, as we know how that goes. So, I just got back from another 30-day ban. You know, originally, I actually scheduled my Facebook account to be deleted. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there probably saw the post that my brother put out. Jake, he posted about it. I wasn't going to come back, but then all this wonderful news happened. You know, the FBI raiding Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. The Inflation Reduction Act being passed by the Senate, you know, designed entirely to increase inflation, hire an army of new FBI, or not FBI, IRS employees. I don't want to say agents because we might get fact checked, because they won't all be agents. Some of them will be accountants and janitors, you know. So yeah, the first story that we have on our list today, the most important one, the one that, if anybody out there watches Steven Crowder, is aware, or not just Steven Crowder, if you're a watcher of InfoWars, Steve Bannon, or InfoWars or Steve Bannon as well. Well, pretty much any conservative podcaster has been talking about this recently, and my favorite one so far was Steven Crowder, with the backlash he got when he posted his "This Means War." The libs lost their shit over it. But so yeah, for those out there, I'm sure all of you know, but yeah, Donald Trump, his Mar-a-Lago Mar-a-Lago home in Florida, got raided by the FBI. They were supposedly looking for documents that were that the Trump team already gave the FBI after a subpoena weeks ago. So it's not looking good. And AG Garland came out and put a statement out 3 days later, mind you. I guess attempting to clarify what happened, or saying that they're going to release the warrant. You know, the fucking warrant that should have been released while they were serving the warrant and given to Donald Trump's lawyers. You know, the same lawyers who were barred from even watching or overseeing what they were doing. Mind you, they spent 9 hours in his home. 9 hours when he wasn't allowed to go there. And I think they found like a fucking receipt for something, some napkins from a bar, and they went through Melania's panty drawer, for 9 hours. For what? Because of nuclear secrets, supposedly. But in actuality, we all know that it was in regards to some declassified documents that we don't know what they are. But we know that whatever it is that they were supposedly looking for were declassified documents that Donald Trump declassified before he left office and took with him. And when they subpoenaed him weeks ago, he told them, come get them. It didn't need to be a raid. Long story short, this was a gross abuse of power, a gross overreach of power. And I full-heartedly agree with Carrie Lake when she put out her statement on this and said the FBI needs to be abolished. Full-fucking-heartedly agree. This was the same FBI. They wanted documents that they said that Donald Trump illegally obtained or smuggled out of the White House or whatever the fuck stupid excuse that they want to make. But they won't look into Hillary Clinton's emails. The absolute hypocrisy is just, it's astounding. And it just shows you what Alex Jones and many other people have been talking about for years now. We are in the New World Order. We are in the corporate world order takeover. Klaus Schwab was on camera saying it's going to be a much angrier world. Yeah, you're down right. He was right about that. It is a much angrier world, motherfucker. Somebody's gonna pay for this shit. Alright. Anyways. So yeah. For those that haven't been paying attention or haven't had the time, Donald Trump was raided by the FBI. This is a gross overreach of power. The FBI must be disbanded. Must be dissolved. And I touched on this just a second ago, but here, let me see if I could find... let's see. Inflation Reduction Act. This you're gonna love this one. Let's see. Let's find a good one. Oh, ABC. This is a good one. Reputable. All right. So, what do we have here? Washington, with inflation raging near its highest level in 4 decades, the House on Friday gave final approval to President Joe Biden's landmark Inflation Reduction Act. Its title raises a tantalizing question. Will the measure actually tame the price spikes that have inflicted hardships on American households? You know what's great? I think, hang on. Oh, hey, Jake. Yeah, I think my fucking chat is a little bit behind, I think. Why do I think they did... What, the whole raid? Oh, it's a political attack. That's what it is. They don't want Donald Trump to be on the ticket in 2024. Donald Trump is the reason for his endorsement is what's given a lot of MAGA Republicans the win so far. They want him out of politics entirely. Oh, you know what? That actually reminds me. I need to discuss what happened with Alex Jones as well. A lot of big news has happened since the ban lifted. But yeah, they want Donald Trump taken out of the picture entirely. Because he's I guess the makeshift leader of this movement, or whatever you want to call him. He's the biggest opponent to this New World Order takeover. Alright, so yeah, okay, let me get back to this article I was reading. Let's see. Economic analyses of the proposal suggest that the answer is likely no, not anytime soon anyway. Oh, real quick, if you guys don't know, inflation numbers for July came out recently. It's down. Inflation is down to 8.5%. And the Biden administration is celebrating this fact. It's down to last month's previous historical all-time record of 9.1. It's down to 8.5. So that's fucking wonderful, I guess. Oh, and I don't know if anybody's heard this, but I heard a theory. I probably couldn't find the article if I looked for it, but I heard a theory that some big tycoons in the oil business are starting to get kind of pissed off at the Biden administration because there's talks and rumors that the Biden administration is fudging some numbers when it comes to gasoline demand, because on paper, gasoline demand hasn't really gone down a whole lot, but according to the federal government, to the Biden administration, gasoline demand has declined, which is the reason for the prices to go down. So we'll have to see what comes of that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just like whenever they celebrate, when they celebrated the gas prices, they've come down 20 cents or whatever. Motherfuckers, you're the reason for the $2.50, $3. Well, let's see, it was up to $5. Let's see, the pandemic low under Donald Trump, it was $1.19 down the street. So, like almost a $4 price hike since the Donald Trump. But it came down like 20 cents, bro. So yeah, I just thought that was an interesting tidbit of information. Okay, this legislation, which the Senate passed earlier this week and now heads to the White House for Biden's signature, won't directly address some of the main drivers of surging prices, from gas and food to rents and restaurant meals. I gotta hand it to ABC. I was gonna say something real snarky, but I think they did it on their own. The Inflation Reduction Act doesn't actually address inflation. Surprise fucking surprise, coming from the Biden admin, right? Still, the law could save money for some Americans by lessening the cost of prescription drugs. Oh, you mean lessening the cost of prescription drugs like Donald Trump already fucking did, and then you reversed it? Extending health insurance subsidies and reducing energy prices. Oh, you mean like Donald Trump did when he made us energy independent? Okay, let's move on. It would also modestly cut the government's budget deficit, which might slightly lower inflation by the end of this decade. It will slightly, modestly cut the government's budget deficit. This Inflation Reduction Act was almost as big as the last defense budget that Donald Trump passed when he was in office. $600 some odd billion. You got to understand. What was it? I don't remember what the exact number it was, but I remember the IRS next year is getting 4 times the budget that they've gotten historically. So the IRS has been expanded times 4, not 4 times, times 4, over their previous historically highest budget. And what's the purpose? To hire 87,000 new IRS employees / agents, whatever you want to call them, so that they can supposedly not audit The middle class. What a joke. These people think we're fucking idiots, dude. They hired 87,000 new personnel so that they can not audit us, huh? Okay, whatever. All right, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office concluded last week that the changes would have a negligible impact on inflation this year and next. And the University of Pennsylvania's Penn Wharton budget model concluded that over the next decade, the impact on inflation is statistically indistinguishable from zero. So, lo and behold, ABC admits it. The Inflation Reduction Act, surprise, surprise, does abso-fucking-lutely nothing to address inflation. Imagine my shock. Such forecasts also undercut the arguments that some Republicans, such as House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, have made that the bill would cause inflation, as McCarthy said in a speech on the House floor last month. That's so weird. Printing more money means that there's more money chasing the same product, which means that the value of that product, the value itself doesn't change, but the price of that product goes up to keep up with the amount of currency. You all know, you're smart people. You know how inflation works. When there's the products that are on the shelf to purchase don't change, unless you're Joe Biden and you collapse and destroy the supply chain. But under normal operating conditions, the product on the shelf doesn't change. That fucking big juicy piece of shit chemical burger that you get from McDonald's, the size of it, the actual product itself, it hasn't changed, but suddenly it's $1 more. It hasn't increased in value, has it? It hasn't decreased in value. It's exactly the same. Why is the price of going? Oh, because there's more money in the system to buy that same product. But the weird thing is, your wage doesn't change. How weird. Yeah, exactly, Jake. Okay, so I've had about enough of this. The moral of this particular story... Well, no. Hold on, let me back it up. The moral of every story, when you're talking about Democrats and bills that they're passing, is whatever the name of the bill is, it's exactly the fucking opposite. It always will be. That's how these people work. Alright, so in other news, let's see, NBC News. This ought to be good. So anybody that follows Alex Jones knows that back in 2012, when the Sandy Hook shooting happened, he said, Jake, yeah, technically, some wages have gone up, yes. Mostly corporate wages, where they give themselves record bonuses because of record profits, because of record inflation. Yeah, exactly. So anyways, Alex Jones, back in 2012, he went on this whole tirade, this rant about Sandy Hook, right? And how it seemed like it was a staged event. Like, there was a lot of bad actors involved, and actors, I mean literally actors. Now, there's no denying, and Alex Jones has later come out and put out, corrections to his original broadcast on the subject, that people were legitimately hurt in the Sandy Hook shooting, right? People got killed. So it was a terrible, terrible day in American history. No one argues that. But what Jones was saying was that it seemed like it was staged. Like it was, like the whole thing was a plot. A plot schemed up in the corrupt minds of our government officials. Now, even if that's the case, that does not negate the fact that innocent people were hurt and killed, right? And again, Jones eventually came out and made a correction and apologized for some of the things that he had said. Everybody makes mistakes. Jones admits it. But he was convicted. Or I don't want to say convicted. I guess that was the wrong search term. He was ordered by a judge to pay $50 million total in a combined original lawsuit and punitive damages to the family of Sandy Hook. massacre victims. And strangely enough, right after this verdict came out is when that Senate bill passed, the Inflation Reduction Act. And then immediately after that is when Donald Trump's home got raided. So I posit that we are witnessing right now one of the biggest events in American history. It's hard to see at the moment because, you know, we have our day-to-day lives and we don't necessarily pay attention to everything that happens. But I think when we look back on this time period, we're going to see something extraordinary. And criminal charges are going to come against some of these people. Trust me when I tell you that. So, for anyone wondering, no, Jones is not going to have to pay the full $50 million or 49 point whatever. There's a statute of limitations or whatever the fuck the term is for it in the state of Texas. We don't know what's going to happen because he's got another lawsuit over in Connecticut, I think, for the same thing. I don't know what the limitations are on that, but at least in Texas, there's like a limit to where, with the amount of people that were actually involved in the lawsuit and how much, whatever, it's going to end up being like $4 or $5 million in total, which is, you know, for you and me, that's a large chunk of change. For Alex Jones, that's a Tuesday. You know, so anyone that's worried about InfoWars going off air, it's not going to happen anytime soon. InfoWars is not going anywhere. And Jones, as much as I love the guy, I listen to InfoWars frequently, not every day, but frequently. He's got some money. He's got some money stashed somewhere. Nobody in his position of power and what he says is his former wealth doesn't have money stashed somewhere. He says he's bankrupt, and I believe him when he says that InfoWars, his company, is going bankrupt. I believe him. I think he's telling the truth about that. But he personally, he's got some money somewhere. He's going to be fine. InfoWars is going to be just fine. There was a number of other things that I wanted to kind of discuss today. A lot of other news. It's been a long day, though. It's been a long 2020 for the last 2 years, you know. But I think I'll be back. I'm calling this show F the Democrats, or F the Dems. And this was episode 1. If anybody's interested, if you want to support me, and support the Fed Up with Democrats page, I left links in the description of the video. And have a good day. I'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna go drink my beer and have a good night. Maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.